Welcome to CEO Interviews, a production of Gorcom in which we take the time to speak with small cap executives about recent important developments with their companies. With us today, I'm happy to have again, after a bit of a long hiatus, Harry Barr. He's chairman and CEO at Pacific Northwest Capital. The company trades on the TSX Venture Exchange on the stock symbol PFN. For our friends in the United States, PAWEF. And for our friends in Germany, the company trades on Frankfurt under P7J. Now, for those of you who are new to the story, and there's going to be a lot of you, pay attention. The company's got two divisions that you've got to know about. The first is the Platinum Group Metals division. Those are PGMs, Platinum Group Metals. The company owns 100% of the River Valley PGM resource in Northern Ontario. I'll summarize it with this. It contains approximately 2.5 million ounces of PGMs plus gold, okay? It's surrounded by excellent infrastructure and within 100 kilometers of Canada's largest nickel copper PGM mining center. They also have a lithium division. In April 2016, the company added the Lithium Division, which is to focus on the acquisition, exploration, and development of lithium projects in Canada and the United States. Now, that sounds a lot like Me Too companies out there, but more than just lip service, the company has really moved forward pretty strongly here. On June 15th, it acquired its fourth 100% owned lithium project. Three of those are in southeast Manitoba. You got the Lithium 1, Lithium West, and Lithium North projects. All of those surround the Tanko mine in southeast Manitoba, which is Canada's largest producer of spodumene, tantalum, and cesium. The area has strong infrastructure, active mining, and the company's looking to turn that into the Clayton Valley North of lithium. On June 16th, the company also acquired 100% of its strategic lithium brine project. This is the Clayton Valley Fork Lithium Project. Here to talk about all of that and where he's going to go with this is Harry Barr. Harry, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you very much, George. Thank you for having us on.
Harry, when you do something, you do it big, you do it right. I know that, but for the people who are new to lithium and following Pacific Northwest Capital because of that, what should they know about your personal track record and how you, as the lead of this company, differentiate yourself from most executives in the small cap space?
Well, I think the first point, George, I've had the same phone and fax number for 31 years. I like to tell people that because it's a long time. But our group has done over 43 joint ventures with major mining companies. We've done over 300 with the juniors, the small cap, mid caps, and we've raised over $300 million through equity and joint venture financings.
Yeah, and I think that speaks for itself. That's important for everybody to know this. So let's go right into the project. Harry, how are you able to acquire so many great projects so quickly? Because it's one thing for a small cap company to come out and say, and we've seen a lot of them do it, that they want to get into the lithium space. Quite another to be able to evaluate these projects, find these projects, evaluate the projects, and then actually decide which ones you're going to acquire and actually lock them down. How did you guys do all of this so quickly?
Well, it came from a lot of experience from one of the companies in our group that still does very well today. That's Canalaska Uranium. It was my play company until we got into the uranium business. We actually acquired 3 million acres and dozens of projects. And I got to give the team that run it today a lot of credit. Peter Dazzler. It was 8 cents at Christmas. It was 16 at the PDAC, and it was 98 cents the other day. That's all based on the 3 million acres that we put into the project and the many joint ventures that we did throughout the different campaigns. My other companies typically all focused on one metal and move forward from them. But the bottom line is we can move. The second reason is I got into lithium relatively early when you look at the last year or two. Last August, we took one of the companies in our group, was Southern Sun. It was our shelf shell that basically sat around looking for something new. And a group in Vancouver basically convinced me to use that vehicle to move forward in the lithium industry. It's now called Nevada Energy Metals. I stepped down from it about 6 weeks ago, and there's a new president running it and the same financial group behind it, and they did a good job. Before I stepped down, we did 8 acquisitions since January 15th in Nevada to about, well, the other one just came out the other day. So there was over 8 acquisitions. I think already done in that company. So that really gave me a real leap forward in the U.S. and in Canada. That company didn't want to come to Canada, so we'll talk about that later. I focused a little bit on the U.S. in our company and a lot in Canada.
Tell them about your key team member that's helping you identify and acquire projects now.
Well, this is the challenge as a CEO. You don't want to always say it's I. There's no I in team, as we all know. And the bottom line is we have good people in both our divisions. One of them I was able to acquire a young geologist. He's 52. The reason I say young is the average Canadian geologist is about 65 years old today, George, which is amazing. Anyways, he had a 12-year history in rare earths, rare metals, and lithium. And I was luckily able to acquire him. We started talking in January, and we talked and did a lot of business in February. And I met him for the first time at the PDAC in March, and we've literally worked 7 days a week since. And he has a lot of experience in Canada in lithium, and we'll talk further about that. His name's Kerry Gilchucks.
And also on that level there, I understand why you're making acquisitions in Clayton Valley. Okay, Bear Perspective, Nevada. We all know what Clayton Valley means to lithium in Nevada. But why Manitoba? How did you get to Manitoba and make these great acquisitions? And why should investors really take to these?
Well, it's a crazy analogy that I kind of made up, but if Vancouver is Hollywood North, then what we're trying to do in Manitoba, in a way, is Lithium North or Clayton Valley North. The mine that we're all staked around and trying to find more down in Nevada has been there since 1967. And it is a brine exploration projects that we have. They have a brine exploration mine that about 4% of the world's supply comes from. About 3.5 hours in either direction of that Clayton Valley, where the largest staking rush in the history of Nevada's lithium's on. And when asked a couple of weeks ago, I asked a lady who heads up the BLM, she said, it's not just the largest staking rush in lithium, Harry, it's the largest staking rush Nevada's seen in 7 to 10 years. You know, when you look at that and then you try to bring it to the northern parts, it's in 1969, a mine called Tanco started, and it produced 3 different elements from there, and one was tantalum, one was cesium, which they still produce today, one was spodumene. In the spodumene is the lithium. There is 2 differences in these projects. In Canada, we have hard rock, and the U.S. we have brine. Again, a lot of pegmatites host the spodumene, and we're in one of the largest pegmatite belts in the world. And like big companies, over the last couple of years, especially in Canada, the big company that owns Tanco started to drop projects on either side of the mine. They started to stop producing some of the elements they used to produce, and it left a whole lot of ground open. So essentially, we've been acquiring ground on the knowledge of a previous employee there. And it was ground, in some cases, they used to own, in some cases, they didn't. One of the projects we just acquired is about 8.5 kilometers away, has 40 different pegmatite occurrences. Many of them have lithium in it, and it hasn't been drilled since the 50s, George.
You've got great projects in Nevada, you've got great projects in Manitoba. Should we assume from that you're going to continue to accumulate? Is that one of the company's goal? And are you going to be just as aggressive? Because it seems like you've been on a breakneck pace over the last couple of months.
We've been staking around one of the most famous mines of its kind in Canada since early March, and there's a lot more to come. We are in the middle of a major acquisition program. I'm literally writing deals every second day, both in the Platinum Group Metal Division and in the Lithium Division.
All right, so there are so many Me Too lithium companies out there. What do you think PFN, and by the way, you are changing the company, you've announced that you're changing the company into New Age Metals to better reflect the company. But in the meantime, what does PFN offer that other pure lithium plays don't?
Well, it's a good question. The name New Age Metals is going to reflect 2 divisions. Our Platinum Group Metal division that's been around the longest has a property called River Valley that we own 100% of, and it is the largest undeveloped primary PGM project in Canada. It has a major resource that you talked about earlier, and we own 100% of that. That in itself makes us different than every exploration company I've seen in lithium to date. And, you know, this we need to check and research, but at a couple of conferences, and one I had the chance to throw it out to 200 experts, and nobody disagreed with what I said. And what I said was, what makes us different is we have two divisions, and one is a development project, and again, it's the largest undeveloped PGM project of its kind. Why is that a green metal? Because about 65% of the palladium in the world goes into the tailpipe of your car, where in the tailpipe is a unit that basically uses platinum group metals to help in the afterburn and to keep the environment a little bit cleaner. And that is, you know, and palladium has a very similar use to that too. So that's why it's a green metal. That's what makes us different. If you took one division away, and if, let's just say lithium on all the projects we have, we found nothing, and lithium died tomorrow, which is just the beginning, it's not the end. We have a core asset that no other company has ever had in our platinum group metals. And when you buy a share, you get both.
Harry, I want to thank you for taking the time out to join us today. You've got a lot going on, and from the sounds of it, you're going to have a lot more going on. So I'm looking forward to having you back on the show, but I think I speak on behalf of everyone when I say in the meantime, congratulations to you and your team for making such a great strategic decision to enter the lithium space and enter it so aggressively, acquire great projects, and we're looking forward to hearing more news from you in terms of the deals you're writing every couple of days from the sounds of it. So it looks like we're going to have you back on here quite a lot over the summer months.
Thank you very much, George. And here's the good news. We're going to work in the field in both Canada and the U.S. and all of these projects. So there will be a lot more news coming out about real hard data as to what we're doing. Thanks, Harry. Thanks for joining us today. You've been watching Harry Barr. He's Chairman and CEO of Pacific Northwest Capital. The company trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the stock symbol PFN. For our friends in the U.S., on the OTCQB under PAWEF, and for our friends in Germany on the Frankfurt Exchange under the stock symbol P7J. If you want to find out more information about the company, get to the web naturally, look them up at pfncapital.com. That's pfncapital.com. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hope you found this valuable. I know I did. Harry's the kind of guy that you got to watch closely. I've watched his success, and this is no surprise to me. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.